Hi there. Hope you're having a great day today. Sorry for my throat. It's been bad for a week now. However, we have to get on with our spoken English course. So, today is day 9, okay? And we are going to talk about the past. And that's we are going to actually focus on clarity and how to kind of speak in the past confidently. Okay. So, in the last session, you learned how to speak comfortably in the present. However, today we move one step back into the past. Let me just be clear that most learners freeze when talking about the past because they think, which tense should I use? Now, is this correct? Or what if I make a mistake? Today, we will remove that confusion. All right. So by the end of this lesson, you will know the four past tenses or talk about past events clearly, okay? When to use each one, that is, choose the correct past tense without panic, and how to speak about past events without stopping or panicking. That is, speak in short, confident, and past tense sentences pretty much flow fluently. We are also going to look at avoiding some common tense confusion while speaking. Okay, that's our goal today. Great. Now, I want you to remember this one thing. This is spoken English and it is not an exam paper, all right? So you just kind of need to tune into our daily 50-day spoken English course that we are giving free on YouTube so that we can help you enhance your grammar naturally. And that's how we work at GK Pro Academy. Okay, so let's begin. Let's look at our part 1 for today. That is how English talks about the past or the past tense. Now, in English or the language English, it has four past tenses. I think we all know that by now. Each of these tenses or every tense that we are looking to use which is in reference to past has a different job. That is, you do not mix them randomly. Why? Let's look at the four past tense first of all. The first one is the simple past, okay? Then the past continuous, then comes past perfect, followed by your past perfect continuous. What I want you to do is, before speaking, always decide, okay? Always decide one thing, and that is, what exactly am I saying about the past? Now, if you answer this question, you will be pretty much, you can understand which tense to use when you're looking at past as time. Okay, quickly, let us kind of understand what this tense is used for and why simple past is used and where it is used. Okay, it is used when you are looking at completed actions, that is, stating a finished action, okay, or describing what was happening, all right, and showing which action comes first or focusing on duration. Now, also, we need to keep in mind that when I talked about completed actions, that's what I meant that the actions have already been finished by a person, by he or she. And it also focuses on finished time as well. That is nothing but duration. Also, it looks very closely into facts, okay? Some facts that have already occurred in the past. If something is done and the time is over, you simply use simple past. All right. Now, just to reinforce, this is the most important tense when you look at the past time in spoken English. Let's quickly look at the structure here. So, the sentence structure for the past tense or the simple past is, okay, time, subject, verb, which is verb to, that is the ed form, okay, and the object. Now time is pretty much something, it's optional, all right. This part is kind of optional. You don't really have to take it under consideration. However, you can simply remember it as subject plus verb to and object, and that is your sentence structure. Okay, let's look at certain examples. Yesterday, as I told you, one second, yes, as I told you, time is pretty much, you know, optional. However, it looks kind of polished when you use these cohesive devices. Yesterday, I worked late. Yesterday is a time frame. I just added it to this format. That is, subject is I, verb to is worked, and object is nothing but or the happening is late. Okay. Yesterday, I worked late. Again, to reinforce, time is optional. The second example, I ate food last night. Ate is verb 2. She called me in the morning. Called again is verb 2. She is the subject, okay, in the morning. All right, can be treated as an object. Okay, great. Now, this is the basic sentence structure when you're looking at simple simple past, right? There's nothing extra. So each sentence has one action and one finished time. Please keep that in mind. All right. So this is also known as the key speaking strategy when you look at simple past. Time anchor can be kept in your mind in order to remember this whole strategy that I'm talking about when it comes to simple past. Start your sentence with a finished time word. That is, for example, yesterday I had a meeting with my friend, or you know, um, last night I was quite late when I reached home. Last week Last week ago, I actually went to, last week I just went to a parlor, or sentences like that. So when you start with the finish time, your brain automatically moves to the past. Okay. So that is the whole strategy here. The time anchor strategy is nothing but, now, why do you think we have curated this? It's because when we use simple past, many of the times we kind of get confused. What verb should I use? So that will actually, this strategy known as time anchor kind of helps you sew that words or sew the, those verb forms automatically in your brain. So when you say yesterday, the verb form automatically hits you. All right. So that is how simple it is when you keep this strategy in mind. Okay, you do not need to think about grammar. The verb actually comes in naturally. This helps your brain select the past automatically. Please remember, it is known as time anchor strategy. It is known as time anchor strategy, where your sentence will start with a time word. Time word means yesterday, last night, last week, a week ago, words like that. Okay. So that is it. So there's one important rule. Please keep one sentence and one completed actions for this tense. Do not overload one sentence with many actions, and that's going to cause a chaos in your whole sentence itself. So let me just kind of give you a bad example of overloading one sentence with a lot of actions in it. Okay, please listen to this sentence. That is, I went home and I ate and slept. Also, I was feeling very tired. So basically, this sentence has many actions like I went home, I ate and slept and felt tired. So basically, you're looking at four actions in one single sentence. So that is why it creates a sense of pressure. Instead, you just do this. That is, I went home, I ate dinner, and I slept early. So it's the same meaning, but less stress and more fluency. Okay, let's quickly look at the guided practice section here. Practice number one. Okay, in reference with the simple past. Okay, here I would want you to kind of pause your video, all right, and try to use the sentence structure that I spoke about here, that is subject, verb to plus object. Okay, subject, verb to plus object, and try to complete this sentence. So I think you can do that. For example, yesterday, I, you can just go on and complete these sentences. First of all, speak one sentence at a time. All right. Like yesterday, I dash. You can complete this sentence by using this sentence structure, that is subject, verb to plus object. You see, the first example here is already there. Yesterday, I worked late. So here it can be a sentence, a sample sentence can be yesterday, I ate very late. Okay, so that can be a simple past sentence as well. So last night and last week, I dash and I dash. Kindly go ahead and pause the video here and try to finish these two sentences. Speak one sentence at a time, pause, and then please continue. Great. Now, if you've done that, it's a great job. It's beneficial for you and only you. Thank you so much for tuning into our sessions. Now, quickly, let's go on to the next section, okay? And that is part three of our session today, or the class today. We are dealing with another tense, and that is past continuous, as you can see on the screen. Now, what do you think this tense means, or when is this tense used? That's what is very interesting. Okay, this tense is used when an action was happening over time, all right, or you are describing a situation, or the action was in progress. Okay, A- because the first tense, that is the simple past, it kind of looked at actions that have been completed, right? That's what I told you here. Look at this, actions that have been completed, finished time, okay, or clear facts. These were the criterias when we were looking at simple past. However, when we are moving on to past continuous, actions are in progress, they are not finished, okay, or they are not completed. This tense does not focus on completion at all. Guys, please remember when I say, you know, it's not used to show completion. Continuous, also, I told you when we were talking about the present form, when you see verb in an ing form, it is when you actually come across a word known as continuous, or when you see a word that is continuous in the form of tense or in reference to tense, it means that the verb has picked up that ing word. Okay, great. So let's move on. Okay, so let's look at the structure. The structure is pretty simple, it's pretty clear, because here, the subject, as usual, comes first. Was and where are our new friends? As I told you, because this word continuous has come into picture, it directly takes verb into a ing form. Okay, try to understand that and keep this information in mind when we are looking at the tense chart as well. All right. On the internet, there are many tense charts, as you can see, are available. However, when you see verb 1 plus ing form, it is nothing but when you come across a word as known as continuous, it means the verb picks up the ing word. That's it. Okay. Great. Plus the time or the situation. Now let's look at certain examples. First example, I was working in the evening. Great. Time or situation. It can be a time or it can be a situation. Okay. I was studying at 9 p.m. Again, it is related to time. Now, they were talking during a meeting. Look at this. They is a subject, right? Okay. As I told you, was and where also can be used because they is a plural form, right? So it picks up a plural form. Basically, They were, okay, where is again there in the sentence structure. So they were talking during the meeting. During the meeting is a clear situation. Now these are perfect examples when we look at this particular tense, that is past continuous. Okay, past continuous. Great. I hope you understood the sentence structure. That is subject, was or were, okay, plus verb in the ing form, plus your time or the situation. Now, this is the structure. Now, just to make our lives easy, we've kind of, come up with a certain rule known as the background rule. But before that, let me tell you that, notice something very important in all these sentences. Okay, these sentences do not tell us when the action finished or if it is finished. If you're looking at this sentence, she was studying at 9 p.m. It actually does not tell us whether she completed studying at 9 p.m. or did she even continue studying after 9 p.m. It just presently says that she was studying at 9 p.m. So that is the difference when you're looking at simple past and past continuous. Past continuous means it does not focus on finished product or a finished workload. So that is the main difference. So they only describe the situation. Now let's look into something that's known as the background rule, as I kind of told you just now. All right, so what do you mean by background rule? Again, this is one of our strategies at GK Pro. Okay, we are kind of looking at making your life simple. So, uh, the whole idea is use this tense only to answer what was happening at a particular time. Okay, think like this was happening at that time. That's all. Do not use it to say what is finished. Okay, past continuous does not focus on completed workload or completed actions. It just says or just talks about that situation at that time. All right, now that is the importance of past continuous. Also, there is a natural combination that I wanted to kind of talk to you about. What do you mean by natural combination? Natural combination, or sorry, common spoken pair is, look at this, is past continuous plus your simple past. What do you mean by that? Just take a few minutes and look at the screen and read those sentences. Okay, great. Now, if you've done that, let me go ahead and explain this. Okay, for example, I was eating when he called. Second example, she was studying when the lights went off, correct? This is what the examples are talking about here. But we are actually talking about a natural pairing system or a common spoken pair system, that is past continuous plus simple past. Now, this combination is very common in real English. Why? Because, see, look at this. Was eating, okay, shows the background. Was eating, background. Called, or this, okay, called shows an interruption. In the sense, it is kind of in reference to past simple, and was eating is in reference with past continuous. So you look at the combination, it is past continuous plus past simple. I mean to say simple past or past simple. So basically, this is the most prominent pair when we talk in English. Many of them do not know this while speaking, but however, this is how real English works. Okay, now let's look at a a practice. As I say, it's known as the guided practice here, guys. Kind of pause the video here. Please pause the video here and take time to complete these sentences. I can just read it out for you if you want. That is, at 8 p.m. yesterday, I was. Remember to keep your verb in the ing form. ing form. For example, at 8 p.m. yesterday, I was watching TV. Okay, that also can be a great example. The next one, that is, during the meeting, we were dash. Kindly pause the video and complete this sentence. I'm sure that you will be able to relate at a deeper level when I tell you to pause and kind of complete the sentence. Okay, please try to do that and you will see the difference in your understanding. Great. Let's look at part 4, also known as past perfect. Okay, now um, I actually personally come across many people who say that they kind of fear this tense, that is past perfect. But please don't worry. Past perfect is very simple when used correctly with certain strategies. So past perfect is used when two actions are mentioned, okay? Two past actions are mentioned. One of them has happened before the other. Keep that in mind. And here, order is very important. Now, use this tense only when needed. All right. Why? Because it talks about order. It talks about the order of the action. All right, what has happened before or what has happened, uh, the second point here, as you can see, one action has happened before the other. So there are two actions that are taking place here. Let's look at the structure quickly. That is subject, had, verb 3 plus extra, in the sense any extra information. For example, when I read the examples you will understand better. That is, I is the subject. Okay, had, had as in had, it's the structure itself. Verb 3, finished. Okay, work before he arrived. Now you see there are two actions that have already completed. So there are two past actions are existing here. For example, see here, as you can see very clearly, I had finished, he has finished something, and then that is he's saying that he has finished his work before he arrived. So someone has arrived before that, he has finished his work. So basically this guy has arrived, this person has arrived, and then before he arrives he has finished his work. Obviously there are two actions that have been completed. Okay, and the second example, she had left when I reached home. So this person has already reached home is when this girl left. Correct? So two actions completed, right? We had eaten. I mean to say we had already eaten, in the sense they have finished their dinner while we watched TV. So even watching TV also was done. Both of the actions have clearly happened. So this is where you use this structure, that is past perfect. Okay. I think it's pretty clear because we are looking at two past actions. Okay, one happened before the other. All right, and order is very important. Please keep that in mind. Great. Now let's look at a simple key idea or a strategy. As I told you that at GK Pro we are looking at curating new strategies for you to help along with your grammar enhancement, so that you feel speaking is your new hobby and you do not feel forced. Or I hope that till now whatever I have shared with you is totally curated by us. And yes, again I would want to reinforce, please go ahead and practice and continue watching this section, or I might say this 50-day spoken English course, which is absolutely free for you. All right, just go ahead and try to relate with the concept. When I say practice, it is what makes a person perfect. So kind of do that at least for 20 minutes in a day. Great. So let's look at the strategy that I was talking about. Now, in reference to this, this tense, that is the past perfect, we have got a very simple strategy that is known as the two action check. Now, what do I mean by two action check? I kind of told you here what this tense is used for, right? I mean, when this tense can be used for, or when this tense actually is used by people, right? Now, two actions have to exist, right? Two actions have to exist in a same sentence. Only then you're looking at using past perfect. So before using past perfect, ask yourself, okay, am I talking about two past actions? Very important to keep in mind. Now, if you think, all right, if you think you are actually kind of talking about two actions and it's a check, then yes, you go for past perfect. Now, if you're not actually talking about two actions that have been completed, then please do not use this tense. Now, this is known as the two action check strategy so that you can easily remember when to use past perfect. All right, let's kind of look at certain signal words here. Now, words like before, after, already, and when clearly are used when we're talking about two actions and we are referring to past perfect as a tense or time. Let's look at a quick practice guide or the guided practice session. Again, guys, please pause the video here and try to complete these two sentences on your own. Okay, as you can see, the one that I'm kind of highlighting. I'm very sorry for my throat. It's been bad for a while. However, our sessions cannot wait, and that's the reason I'm giving it out. All right. So the first, um, the first sentence that I want you guys to kind of work on is I had dash before dash. Now, as I told you, see, signal word is before, right? So that's clearly given here. Clearly, you can see before here. When also is a signal word. So that's also given here. So definitely it is something related to the past perfect tense. I have given you sample answers just below these questions. If you if you're not comfortable, you can just go ahead and pause the video, all right, and read these sentences as well. All right, and these are just sample answers. You can go ahead and fill these empty spaces as you wish. All right, great. So examples are the sample answers are I had finished my homework before dinner. So basically, you're looking at two finished actions. Please go ahead and read the other three sentences, and I'm sure you will be able to understand at a deeper level. Okay, now if you've done that, thanks a lot. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move ahead because I cannot kind of be stuck here because as I tell you guys, you really need to practice. I do not want to even give you these sample answers. However, just to help you out, I kind of thought that yes, let's go ahead and give you a certain amount of help. Okay, let's go ahead. Part 5. Part 5 is in reference to our last tense for the session, or for this session at least. Now, it's known as the past perfect. Again, our friend continuous. Already told you, whenever you see the word continuous, go ahead and help your verb to pick up his or her friend, that is ing, right? That is what is the clear meaning of continuous. Okay, so when is this tense used? This tense is used when the action happened for a long time in the past. Okay, or you can also kind of look at it this way, that is long or repeated past actions. Keep in mind. Now, very important thing to keep in mind when it comes to past perfect continuous is it is focused on duration. All right, it's focused on duration. However, when we spoke about past perfect, it focused on order of the actions that took place in a sentence, right? I'll just scroll up and show you the difference. Hold on. Yes, look at this. Okay, order is important here. Where? In the past perfect tense. Order is important. Order of the two actions is very important. Like, I had finished work before he arrived. But when you come to this, that is past perfect continuous, order is not very important here. The focus is on the duration, the time frame. All right. Also, it can, you also, there's another thing that you can always keep in mind is effort or continuity matters, in the sense explaining the cause or tiredness in the sense there might be a lot of effort put by a certain person to complete a certain action. Now that also is considered when you're looking at past perfect continuous as a tense, or to use the tense. Okay, now there is this sentence structure. Please take a look at it. That is, subject had been, verb in the ing form, time and reason. Let's look at certain examples. I had been working all day. See, you can, sorry for that. Yeah, you can look at this. Okay, all day, right? All day. I'm not able to kind of, circle it. I'm very sorry. However, you can see here all day. All day is what? All day obviously is a time, right? And then the second example, she had she had been studying for hours. Again, it is time. Okay. Now, they had been waiting since morning. Again, time. All right. Reason also can be a part of it with other certain examples, like how we dealt over here. If you can just look at this, hold on. Where was that? Yes, in the first, yes, situation, like during the meeting. Same thing can be put together here as well. Instead of this, we can say they had been waiting since the meeting has finished, or sentences like that. Now, this is where I'm kind of telling you that this tense focuses on duration, in the sense how long a action has been taken place, or how long this particular action is taking to be completed, all right, or is still continuing. So that is where you're kind of looking at using past perfect continuous. Okay, great. Now again, there is a strategy that you can keep in mind just to kind of make your life easier, also known as duration focus. Now, use this tense only when duration matters or when your efforts matter. And when people kind of put in a lot of efforts, there's a lot of time frame or the time that goes into it. Now, everything, when you are forming sentences, or when you're looking at using different tenses and you're getting confused, keep in mind that if you have to talk about a certain situation which is duration focused, then you have to kind of look at using past perfect continuous as your grammatical tool. All right, yes, let's move on now. Cause effect use. What do you mean by cause effect use? It is, this tense often explains why something has happened. All right. For example, he was tired. He was tired. But why? Why was he tired? Because he had been working all day long. Now, as I told you, this looks at duration, okay, and efforts. A very good example to kind of show you guys where to use past perfect continuous as your tool. Okay, great. Let's kind of move on and look at certain signal words. Signal words, in the sense, these words are pretty much used when a person is speaking in this particular tense, and those words are for, since, all day, and for hours. So for hours and all day, since and for, all these words just signal to one thing. Can you guys actually guess towards what do they kind of signal? They kind of direct everything towards this word, that is duration or time. Okay, that is when you're looking at using present perfect, I'm sorry, past perfect continuous. Okay, great. Now a small, again a small guided practice tour for you guys. Pause the video and try to finish these sentences. I have given a set of sample answers here just so that you can feel at ease. Okay, I'll just read out one, that is, I had been studying for 2 hours. A very simple and a very basic example. If you look at past perfect continuous, which is duration focused again because 2 hours. Okay, again, if you look at your long time, yes, that's also duration. Waiting outside, a very good example. Yes, we can look at this. Before that, I had been waiting outside. Now, this is a reason. All right. Before that, I had been preparing for exam. Again, a reason. All right. Great. Now, I just want to tell you something which is very important when you're looking at using all the tenses, that is, be it present or the past till now that we have covered. Okay. So, one sentence and one purpose. Just do that. Just kind of, it protects your fluency. Please keep one sentence that is equivalent to one purpose. Do not mix all the tenses in one sentence. For example, completion, as I told you, is simple past, right? Completion. When an action is completed, it is a simple past. So do not go ahead and kind of mix that with past continuous. That's not going to happen. Now, background is past continuous. Order, as I told you, you can see here, as I told you, order, 1 second. Yes, order. Yeah, order. Order is important. I told you order is important under past perfect, right? Order is past perfect. Okay. And lastly, our friend, duration. I told you duration is when you're looking at talking in reference with past perfect continuous as a tense usage. Okay, finish one sentence and then continue talking or making sentences in other tenses if you are comfortable with it. Okay, just so that you can practice more and your life becomes easier. Let's look at a quick comparison for clarity. All right, past simple looks at actions, those are kind of finished. All right, that is finished actions. That is simple past, all right, simple past. Now, past continuous kind of looks at actions that are in progress, right? That are in progress. The next one is past perfect. It actually looks at earlier past, or I told you two actions need to be kind of be present in the same sentence. The last one, past perfect continuous, is definitely a friend of duration or time. Great. Now that's the comparison that I kind of wanted to share with you today. All right. What are the final takeaways? I just want to kind of review what I spoke about in this lesson or in this lecture. That is, English has four past tense, right? Now, each past tense has a clear purpose. What is the purpose? I just spoke about it. It is completion, can be a purpose, background, order, duration. Completion means simple past. Background means past continuous. All right. Order means past perfect. And duration is nothing but past perfect continuous. All right. Great. Now that is what I kind of meant when I say that each tense has a clear purpose. Now, sentence structure keeps you safe. Guys, go ahead and see the video if you want again. Please note down the sentence structures in a book or anywhere. You can also find it on the internet, on Google. You can just kind of know those sentence structures and use our strategies in order to kind of mix these two combinations or methodologies to enhance your fluency and use the correct tense when you're talking in English. Great. Now, as I told you, our strategies reduce your hesitation. So when I talk about strategies, I mean these. Just see this. Okay, duration focus, and this to action check for past perfect tense. And one second, yes, background rule for your past continuous, all right. And then coming to time anchor when you're looking at your past tense, your simple past, okay. So these are the strategies that I'm talking about. Please go ahead and wrap your heads around strategies also. They help you to kind of speak fluently, but yes, there's a lot of practice that's needed. I hope you do that as well. All right. Now, spoken English values clarity over perfection. Again, I've been reinforcing that from the day one, that please do not look at being perfect or complicated when you're talking in English. It's okay to start at a basic level, but the only one thing works, or the key principle that works, is consistency. A talk with your friends, talk with your family, talk with your children, talk with your colleagues, but please use English when you're speaking. That is what works in the long run. Okay, great. So it's about choosing the right tense, okay, finishing your sentence, and moving forward confidently. So speak slowly, choose one idea, and trust yourself when you're kind of talking. So, in the next session, we will be moving to the future tense, and we are going to learn how to talk about plans, intentions, and predictions. Great. See you in the next lesson, guys. However, thank you so much for joining in today, and have a great day ahead.